Welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about the string methods practice. So, over the last couple of videos, we have learned how to work with the strings and also did a couple of exercises and challenges. So here in this video, I have created a string exercise. So in this lecture, we are going to solve basically one more challenge and do one more nice string exercise. So somewhere at the beginning of your starter files, so you can find this one constant flights this data. So you can just grab this from the starter files. Let's pretend for example that we get this string here from some kind of web API, and our goal is in our application is tend to display this data like this. So this data has to convert this to like this. Let's start by taking a look at our string here that we can think about how to approach this problem. We see that basically we have 4 lines of input here, and so if we take a look at this string here, we can see that in the first part we could have this plus sign here, and as you see there is another one and another one 3 here. So essentially this plus sign acts as a separate between these 4 pieces of information. So for these 4 flights, so this one I show you here the first one, and then here we have the second one, third one and fourth one. So let's start by dividing them upon so that we can just transform this string here into this 4 pieces. And for now, I'll simply log the result of doing this to the console so that just we can get the first look of this. So remember that for we are going to use the simple split method. So here I'll say console.log flights dot split. So here, so you see that we get this array, and this array contains now these 4 pieces of information. So these 4 flights, now again you see that we have actually one line each for the flight, right? So that means that we want to log to console one line after each flight. So we should probably loop over this array and then create the string like this here. So then create a string like this in each iteration. So we also learn how to do that in this session. So we can use that for the for loop. Let's say that each of them is in a flight for constant flight of flights. Here we use constant flight of string here. So in string here we use by separating them the column here, and then here we'll console.log flight. So when we save it, so what we'll do here is, so we'll just copy this flights, and then here we'll just simply just replace this here, and then here we use this column, and then here we'll just remove this, and when we paste it, see now it is running, right? So what we'll do is console.log here flight.split, or we'll just use the split here. As you can see now, here we got 4 different arrays, right? So the string here now you indeed we get here the 4 strings here logged separately to the console, and now it's time to actually bid each of these nicely formatted strings out of this mess that we get here. So again we can notice that we have an element which basically splits or separates different pieces of the information inside of the string. So here we have a delayed departure, as you can see here, delayed departure, and here we have the airport code, and here another one. So here at the time of arrival, which is exactly what we have here in the string. So we have the late departure, the airport code, and then the Faro, and then the airport code for Berlin. And so therefore let's extract the information from the string. So again I'll start by splitting this variable, but this time using the semicolon operator like we used here. Okay, so you see it already worked, and now we all need to do is to get this data out of these arrays and then format each of them into 4 pieces here a little bit, and then assemble each of them into the final string. So we can do in many different ways, but I'm going to do is to use destructuring. So let's take four pieces out of the array. So remember, destructuring, we use the array syntax here, but to specify variables, the first variable here, let me just call here. So yeah, here we'll do type from, to, and time. Okay. So here we'll just set this to constant type. So here we remove the brackets here. Is equal to flights dot split. Okay. And then just we log this into the output. So let's just declare constant output. Here we use this type and then space, and again here we use from, and then again here we use to, and then again here we use time, and also here the comma. Okay. And then just say console.log output. See here we are getting four, right? Four arrays here. So right now let's just go into this time here. As you can see here, after the time here we have the hours. So let's just do the time here for now. So let's just say time dot replace. Here we'll just use, instead of this colon here, we use h. See here 11 hours, as you can see here, our h here it is getting. And then next, so you see that in a type we have the underscores, right? Of course we want to get rid of. So here I just, here it should just say delayed departure without any spaces instead of the underscore. Also want to get rid of the underscore. So essentially we are going to replace the underscore with an empty space. So for that here we'll just say type dot replace all. So it should replace in every string, right? So replace all. Here we will use underscore to empty. As you can see here, underscores were gone and the spaces were gone here. Like previously, underscore and the spaces was removed. Okay, and now we are going to add this the red dots, as you can see here, and also here the time should be here in this bracket, because in our output, as you can see here, it is in the brackets, right? So let's me just wrap that around in the bracket here. See here, the brackets were there. So here it should be the flight, not flights. So then you can see the four outputs. See here now. Okay. So as we need these red dots right here, right? So again here we are going to add one more. Let's just say here the type dot starts with, because in the starting itself, right, we have this space delayed. So here and again we want this, right? So let me just copy this and then paste it here. Okay. If not, just give the empty space here, and it returns a boolean value. Well, it doesn't work. Let's decode it and show you how to do that. So let's just say here console.log, right? As you can see here, we have the underscore, and then here there is no underscore, right? So here we'll just add in our decode here the underscore. Now as you can see here, this was added. So as you can see here, when we run this, see here arrival from, so it works exactly how we wanted. So delayed departure, right? So here I will just, and now here we use the slice method to take the first three elements here out of this airport code here, right? So from the position 0, and then we can simply change that to the uppercase just to convert them to like this here. So here we'll do it here in the from dot slice. So here we are just taking a value 03, and then we are converting into the uppercase. Okay, let's just console to log and see. As you can see here, airport code was converted into the uppercase. Okay, and but now let's create a small factor function, because for 2 also we need to use the same thing. So let me just create here a small function here, constant get code here. We are just setting this here to string, which is equals to string dot slice. So basically this. So we paste that here, and then here we'll just remove here everything, and then here we'll just say get code of from, and then here we'll just say get code of 2. So when we save it, now you can see here, right? So let me just go ahead and turn this type here. So when you see here delayed departures, you are getting this, right? So in order to get the spacing here, so here after from, and then here just give the spacing here. As you can see here, we got the space here. So we are basically almost done with the code here. So we are almost done here. The only thing here, the different is, as you can see here, the output. So this is aligned to the right. So here also we should convert our output to align to the right. So we can use the padding here. So you can use the pad start to the entire string. So basically we'll start with the pad start. So we can give here in the output as well, but let's just use it in the here pad start. So here we use the pad start of, let's just say here we use 40 when we save it. So it's too long. So here we should get this to close. So let's just use here 30. So here these also should align, right? So let's just say 35. So somewhere a bit. So let's just say 36. See, it was too close. So it was perfectly aligned. And also here we have the spacing here. So we are using this. If you don't want here any spacing or anything like that, you can use simply like this. So that's your wish. But in our output, there is nothing here, right? So we are just using the empty here. So with that, basically we are done with our output here. So this is exactly matches to this here. Okay. So I hope you found this exercise useful and that now you are comfortable with the strings. So basically in our code, I just forgot to add here the 2 here. So let me just add here. See here, now it is there. So that's exactly the same as the our output. So with that, we are done here. So see you in the next section.